Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video. And Blizzard has just made a massive announcement. BlizzCon 2026 is actually happening, and there is a whole lot of new stuff installed with this one from the previous one that they did just a few years ago. And the purpose of today's video is to cover all of those details that you might have missed and to keep you up to date, because there's a lot of stuff you don't want to miss out on, a lot of opportunities and a lot of stuff that I'm personally excited to share with you guys as well. But obviously BlizzCon passes are going to be going on sale on November 7th. BlizzCon is a big convention that happens in Anaheim, California, and I'm sure if you've been a Blizzard fan for a long time, you probably know what that word is. It's a very iconic place to go. I remember my first trip going down there and having a fantastic time, and then I was able to get onto the commentating team to commentate the Arena World Championship for years after that, and I have a ton of fond memories of it. It's always an amazing experience, so I'm very excited to see what the details of this one are going to include in 2026, considering, you know, the one last time they announced 3 WoW expansions. They stuffed all of that in there. We didn't get a lot of news related to a lot of other, you know, major franchises and related to Blizzard, so I'm curious to see what they've got this time around. The BlizzCon passes are going to be going on sale November 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time through to Sunday, November 9th at 11:59 p.m. And they are currently listed at $249.99 a pack, to make you feel less bad about paying $250, right? That seems significantly lower than $250, but this will include all fees and taxes. So this is just a one-time fee of this value. It gives you the full 2-day admission to all halls and arenas. It's going to give you commemorative items and in-game goodies, right? And some of these in-game goodies from previous BlizzCons have become highly coveted collectibles that a lot of players try to go after. So I'm curious to see what they're going to be including as far as that package as well. If you do miss this early bird sale, I remember it's when supplies last, and these things, they sell very fast, so you definitely want to write this on your calendar to like get in there, and probably get in there with your friends. Also, I remember trying to buy my first ticket, and I had like 3 of my friends lined up in the queue, and whoever got in would just buy tickets for everybody else, because it was very difficult actually getting these if you want to get this early bird sale, which is a significant savings compared to the standard sale, which is $289.99, to make you feel less bad about paying $290, of course, which is going to be going on sale on November 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this is until supplies last, and the tickets do tend to sell out. So I would recommend bringing in a buddy if you're going to be going for this, but you get everything. It's basically just you save, what is that? You save $40 if you're able to get the early one and get in there on time, right? They feature all the halls. Also, important note is that it's happening in September. So usually it happens at the end of October, in and around Halloween, or the beginning of November, from my past, memory and knowledge. So this is a big shift from October, November to September. So if you've ever booked a hotel for this, don't be anticipating that it's happening in those months, because it's actually going to be happening in September. So take a note of that. And the BlizzCon passes are going to be sold on Tixer. I'll have a link to this post as well if you want to click it in the description down below. I'm also currently doing a giveaway on my X account of a Midnight Epic Edition code that has been provided to me by Blizzard, #WoWPartner. And if you want to be entering that giveaway, go over on my X account, follow my social medias. There's likely going to be even more giveaways in the future. So if you don't want to miss out on some extra value and goodies, then it's always a good idea. But yeah, you want to just make sure you're getting your passes in here. And this is a new type of account. I've not seen Tixer before. And it got very complicated with how you got your ticket the last time that I went, which now I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was now for that one, because we had like a break due to the, everything going on. And then we had the one BlizzCon, and then they didn't do it. So I think it's 2 years ago now. So this might be a new program. I'm gonna even have to take a look at this, but make sure you got that account set up. Make sure it's ready to go, so that you're able to get in line for this, because you will likely miss out on it otherwise. There are add-on experiences. They typically have these are like bonus extra events for people who want to be dropping the big coin, $499.99, to make you feel less bad about paying $500. This is going to give you an exclusive event with Blizzard developers, artists, and community representatives. It's access to reserved seating at opening ceremony. And opening ceremony is the big event that everybody sits in. It's like a mosh pit of nerds. If you want to be getting the really nice seating for this, that's basically a premium fee to get that nice seating and kind of get some direct one-on-ones. You'll get signed Blizzard artwork as well, and collectible credential. And I assume this is like additional Although you may want to make sure, I don't know how easy this is to like get on a plane, for example, because I know some years that I've gotten some of the stuff that I've gotten can be difficult to actually like pack up without having to crunch it down or whatever. I think at one time someone had to ship something back that they got, but you might want to know. But this is kind of like the big all in if you're willing to do that. I think you have to buy the ticket and this, so now you're pushing like $750. If you want to do like an all-inclusive with everything related to this. They're also tying this in with Make-A-Wish. So the beneficiary of BlizzCon Charity Night is wish.org. So for Make-A-Wish, changing wishes with critical illness, obviously. So you're going to be benefiting a charitable cause, getting some goodies, one-on-ones, and the reserved seating. You probably won't get the seating in the opening ceremony hall, otherwise I'm gonna be like, it was hard enough for me getting in, and I was at the event as a commentator. I'll tell you that, like, the lineup from the front door all the way back, like some people camp out like so the night before, so there can be some benefits there. And they seem to be a little, with the last one, way more tight as far as security and not letting like side entrances or anything like that. So it can be quite a haul, but it's also an experience at the same time if you want to experience that, or if you just want to skip the line and get in there. Dark Moon Fair. Now they had this last time, and I was kind of surprised to see this because I believe it was free every year that I've ever gone. The Dark Moon Fair. So it says after hours. So I don't know if this means Dark Moon Fair is available general access during, standard operations, and then this is like a bonus after party or something, because this is entry to exclusive event, the Dark Moon Fair and the BlizzCon store. So it also gives you like the cut the line and you get to the store a bit faster, maybe. You'll also get fair tokens and collectible credential. I don't know what collectible credential means. That sounds very impressive, but is that like a badge? Or is that like, I'm a bit confused what that is, because usually you get like the little paper box in a plastic wrap, so you get an extra one maybe. I'm not sure, but this one again, $89.99. Now we're pushing like $850. If you're Canadian like me, it's gonna be going over $1,000, and that's not including flight and hotel and everything else that's included. So pretty expensive. Times are tough right now. Let's see what this says specifically, because I most of the time it's been free to go. So Dark Moon Fair is setting up stakes at BlizzCon 2026, casting its spell over level 2 of the North Hall once more, while every attendee may enter its gate during show. So okay, you'll be able to get in during show hours. This is a late night treat for those who wish to extend their stay. This optional add-on grants you entry to the exclusive 3-hour event Saturday evening, September 12th, to both the Dark Moon Fair and the BlizzCon store, and also included our 20 fair tokens and a collectible credential. So I don't know what fair tokens buy. Maybe we'll get a post on that. Or if these are like mini games, maybe they've leveled up. And the Dark Moon Fair has gotten like more impressive since its introduction, I think, year to year. So I do wonder what this is going to include. Is it going to be a streamed event? Is it a private event? They're kind of leaving it mysterious, and maybe that's on purpose. I'm not sure. The purchase of the BlizzCon Pass is required to purchase this add-on. All Dark Moon Fair after-hour add-ons sales are final, meaning they cannot be resold, so there's no scalpers. One transfer to another attendee is permitted, though. Okay, so maybe you can. I don't know with the Tixer app how that's going to work, but this add-on is extremely limited in availability and is expected to sell it quickly during the early bird window. Oh, so you can buy it during the early bird window. It's a 3-hour event. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. It doesn't. I wish they gave like a little bit more details with it. But this is the big one. This is the big panel. This is everything that's involved. We obviously have the opening ceremony. That's like the big shebang, the one you line up the night before to get involved with. They have the hands-on gameplay. I'm really curious to see what they have. They did, StarCraft didn't get a major focus, but we did get a voice line as the last thing in the video. So it makes me wonder if StarCraft is going to be getting anything or not, because at the same time they have the Blizzard Classic Cup here on the bottom right, and this is going to be StarCraft. I think it might be StarCraft Brood War, StarCraft 2, Here's the Storm, Warcraft 3, like OG competitive games, right? That started everything. So I don't know if that is why the voice line was there, or if they have content for it. They're bringing the Mythic Dungeon International, the Arena World Championship as well. These halls were always packed. The live energy for these events was always glorious. Overwatch World Cup is also going to be going there as well. The Hearthstone Tavern is making its return as well. And then obviously, if you want to apparently apply for a job there, portfolio and resume reviews will be available to you as well. The March of the Murlocs, which I don't remember. This seems new. So I don't know if this is like, when you make level 1 gnomes and you try and walk up the continent. if that's going to be what's going on, or if they're going to give you a Murloc suit, or if you have to bring your own Murloc suit. I don't know. Developer panels, obviously, with announcements related to the games. They have the Blizzard Arcade, where you can play probably some old school stuff. Community night, and this is why I don't know if this is like the cosplay contest, whatever other contest, because they got the Dark Moon Fair a little separate, BlizzCon store separate from that as well. But this is like, this to me is more like an OG BlizzCon. You know, the last BlizzCon, we had like some esports events, but it wasn't really like you could watch it at the event itself. You could only really watch it online. So to me, this is a more like full blown expansive experience for BlizzCon upon this review here. So they obviously start with the opening ceremony. They move to the main stage. They announce everything. You can play gameplay. The arcade is back for old school games. Just hanging out. I mean, the main reason you go here is to meet the people you've played these games with for so many years, right? Even though a lot of the games nowadays are shifting more towards solo play, but it's mostly, to me, BlizzCon has always been like a World of Warcraft convention where it's just World of Warcraft guilds hanging out, and like maybe a little bit more, but maybe it's evolved since then. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm very happy that they're bringing back the esports events. I'm curious to see what the new gear is. Did we see anything here? We don't see any details with the Murlocs though, or any details with the Dark Moon Fair, unfortunately. Community night is a true BlizzCon tradition. We can't wait to see your master's craftsmanship, colossal creations, epic effects, and dynamic duo looks, with the coveted award for the best in show up for grabs among all category winners. So there's going to be multiple categories for the community events that's going on. Code of conduct, zero tolerance for any harassment whatsoever. If you want to be dealing with your hotel, this will be available in the link that I'll put in the description down below. Focused on accessibility, additional details. Now, where is the goodie stuff? Do we get to see the goodie stuff? Because that's what I'm really looking for. If you're a member of the press or a content creator seeking media credential, please fill out the media request form. So you get media access. This is like a separate form, I imagine. Dark Moon Fair, I don't think there's anything new here. Countdown is on its way. Now, I didn't see the goodies that are involved with this. Usually they give you like, sometimes it's been a backpack. I think I saw a picture. I'm surprised it wasn't on this post, but I think it's a lunchbox and a thermos, but then they grayed out the image. So that makes me think they have something to announce, because they wouldn't just gray out an image unless it was something that we don't know about. So this, I was worried, like, what are they going to announce, right? Because they announced all 3 expansions. Like, by the time we get here, midnight's likely at released, right? So, like, they can talk about The Last Titan, but what's after that? Is this, like, the big one where they talk about, like, WoW 2? Or is this the big one with Classic Plus and where they're going to go with that? It looks like we'll kind of have to wait and see. But regardless, this looks like the full-blown experience. Obviously, with inflation and cost of living, everything going up, it's likely gone up in price here as well. But I am very excited for it and to see what news comes forward. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What's your favorite? Have you been to BlizzCon? What's your favorite memory from BlizzCon? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the update, and I will see you in the next one.